Hi guys, it's Lenora. Welcome to my channel yet again. And on my show, Live, Love, Live, which is a health, beauty, and wellness show, which is actually on air for radio, I talk about inspiring stories, how to get you into a fitter and healthier lifestyle, and give you tips on how to look your best. Today, I'm with a special guest. It's Dr. Shashi.
Hi.
He is from the KL Sky Clinic, and we are talking about how eating fats is going to help you lose weight, right, Doc?
Yes.
So maybe tell everybody first, what do you do here at the Sky Clinic?
Well, what I do here is mostly on wellness and something which is a new, I would say, branch in medicine, which is called functional medicine.
Functional medicine, okay.
So basically restructuring your hormones and minerals and vitamins. Basically, it's more preventive, and eating well is also part of prevention. So I'm advocating, eating fats. That's what we're going to be talking about today.
Okay, and just to let you know, Dr. Shashi, he's also got a story of his own, which is very inspiring. Once upon a time, he was a lot bigger than he is from now. How heavy were you back then?
At my heaviest point, I was like 115 kilos.
150 kilos, okay. We will have a picture of that right about now. And then now, how much do you weigh?
Now I'm 75 kilos. I think.
Well done. Okay, so just give a quick info of like how did you manage to lose all that weight and how long did it take?
So when it comes to weight loss, you cannot be doing it like in a rash or fast way or anything like that, because anything which is a shortcut is not gonna help you in the long term.
Yes, that's right.
That's my philosophy.
Yeah.
So it took me almost, I would say, like 4 to 5 years to shed all like that weight and like get into a better tone shape.
Okay.
4 to 5 years. Yeah, it took
Okay,
some
so
time.
slow and steady, but that's the main thing was you were consistent throughout that whole time, right?
Yes, and it's a habit.
Lifestyle habit.
Lifestyle habit.
Commercially, people have been taught to go like, okay,
Fats are
anything that is fat means bad. You should go for low-fat stuff.
Yes.
So we're gonna demyth that. Let's start first with basic nutrition and understanding that. How does fat work in our body? Why do we need fat?
Make it as simple as possible.
Yes.
Your immune system basically works on depends on the fat.
Yeah.
Because your lymphatic system in your body, that's where the fat is stored, and your lymphatic system is the one which kind of regulates your immune system in your body. So if you have more bad fats, this is going to be very, very simple. I'm going to put it simple. You're going to have more poor immunity kind of thing. Or if you have less fat intake, good fat intake, your immune system is going to be impaired, which is like the gateway for a lot of other diseases to come along after that.
How did fats get such a bad rap in our foodie lovers industry?
So it was because of the boom of the industry, because fats are easily perishable, and sugars and simple carbs are easily transported, and kept in shelf life longer and all those kind of things. So fats got the bad name. So I think this is like a bit controversial because they were actually lobbying against fat instead of doing a proper research, because even if you see in the pyramid, the food pyramid that we are always shown,
you have like the carbs are at the bottom, then it's nuts, fibers, and
then fats
right at the top.
take at the most minimal amount.
Yeah.
So it's because of poor research into how fats are absorbed in your body or how fats work, and also combined with the food industry, which was a boom, and due to sugar and fiber. So the processed food industry basically had poor research into how fats help the body, and that in return kind of gave fats the bad name.
Poor research, or you think they just didn't want to do the research?
I wouldn't know that, so I'll just keep it as saying it as poor research
Poor
or
research.
bad research.
Okay.
If you see generally all over the world, I think we are taking more simple sugars, because if you see the breakfast cereals, the commercials, the ads and all those, they are all sugar and you want to say fiber, it's mostly added sugar with the fiber as well, like cereals and whatever and all those.
Okay.
It's because why they kind of advocated for having more carbs. It's because fats perish fast.
I see.
Yeah, so
on the shells it perish fast.
Perish fast. So they kind of strip off the fat, have more something dry like fibers, and add some sugar to it for taste and taste good. And you have that, so it lasts longer on the shelf. Fats perish fast. So that is the reason why fats got a bad name in the first place. Poor research into fats, somewhere during the Second World War. That's when, like the industrial boom came, and all those. So fats got a bad name from that.
I see.
But the fats which are actually bad for you are the trans fats, not the good natural fats from, nuts, seeds, animal fats,
Right.
saturated fat.
Okay. You mentioned earlier about how the body, when it doesn't use the extra energy, is going to be stored into fat. So what actually causes the body to hoard all the extra calories as fat instead of using it as energy?
Okay.
Think of me as a school kid. Like, I really want to understand this. Yeah.
Okay. So now I'm going to bring you for a little history lesson.
All right.
Or how to say anthropology lesson.
Okay.
So simple as it is. The human body has not changed, for a million years. Few million years. When we were hunter-gatherers, that's how we started off. We never ate every day. We never had 3 meals a day because we did not have farming methods and all those. So we just hunted and gathered food.
Yeah.
So at that time, there was this period where we went hunting. And we rationed the food, and it was mostly meat and fats, and we ate that, and we never kind of hit on the insulin as much as how we hit it now.
Yeah.
So now, what happens is we are eating very frequently, probably we even have meals 3 to 4 times a day, even at night.
Yeah.
So, and we are not using it as energy like how we used to use it when we were hunter-gatherers, to go hunting, and survive the attack from animals, hide and all those kind of things.
Yeah.
We don't have to do all those. We live comfortably in houses, and there's no threat from any animals who can come and attack us anymore.
Yeah.
So
unless you have a python or
you live in a jungle, something like that.
Yeah.
So basically, that has shifted. So now what we do is we have more sedentary life, and we eat 2 to 3 times a day, and we have more processed food, processed sugars, basic sugars, and all those. So it kind of converts to become fat. So that's how your body now stores fat. So your body used to store fat able to be used later. So the point where you're supposed to use later does not happen. So the body just waits and loads and piles up, until you hit a point where you're obese and you're your muscle is you don't have the muscle turgor. Your body does not need that much of fat. That at one point we get metabolic diseases like diabetes, and now we have the rise of polycystic ovarian syndromes and all those.
Yeah, that's what I have.
Sure.
Yeah, I've got PCOS.
Okay, so when we were in med school, we were taught that PCOS was hereditary, and but looking at the current trend, I probably see around 3 to 4 people a month having PCOS.
That have
PCOS, yeah,
wow,
that's a lot. And even a bunch of gynecologists that I know, a few of them have concluded, they kind of suspect that processed sugars have kind of messed up the system, and the usage of something called xenoestrogens. That's another topic.
Yeah, that's another topic for a whole another day. Yeah.
So, but sugars is messing up the system. Processed sugars.
Processed sugar is the one that's messing up our system. Okay.
Yeah.
So now coming back to our main topic, which is how can eating fat help us lose weight?
Eating fats do not convert to become fat. So that's how it helps.
Ah.
So eating lots of sugar becomes fat.
Okay.
So eating fats basically keeps your immune it stores the lymph, which requires more fats as it's lubricant like blood and all those. So but lymph is what is in your lymphatic system, and your fats are stored in the lymphatic system, not in your blood vessels or in your body.
Okay.
So eating more sugars converts to become fats. Fats do not become fats simply because fat molecules are big. Fats that you eat, the fats that are processed in your body are stored in your lymphatic drainage system, not in your bloodstream. Like people say, you eat lots of fats, it's going to go to your arteries, and it's going to get stuck as plaque in your major arteries, which are in your heart, and all those kind of things. Okay, and the lymphatic system is like the immune regulator in your body. So and they don't flow like blood. It's stored and it's thick. The only thing that makes your immune system work, or your lymphatic system go around the lymph to move around, is exercising.
Oh, I see.
So You have lymph nodes everywhere.
Yeah.
They don't swell up unless you have infection or something like that, and that's what fights the infection, or the infection is drained into that. But the lymph movement is based on your body movement, and it requires you to physically be moving and to keep it active, So that's when exercise comes into role, and that's how it regulates.
I see.
So it doesn't go into the fats again does not go and store in your body as fats. It's in a different system a whole lot.
I see.
The fats that are collected and stored around your belly or wherever it is, it makes you fat, is basically from conversion of simple sugars, carbohydrates, to become fat. And that's what is stored. They can't pass through your bloodstream to go into your bloodstream and become bad for you.
Okay, now that we've covered that, what are the good fats that we should be taking?
Least processed fats, like you can get good fats from animals and plant-based fats as well. But the least processed ones would be like butter, grass-fed, basically grass-fed
Cows or chickens or stuff like that. Yeah.
So those are good where the good fats are. So even the fats stored in animals is a bit complicated, because what you feed your cattle and your son is what is stored as fat in them.
Yeah.
So if you're going to feed more fodder or soy and things like that, then it's going to be bad fats which are stored in the beef and in the milk and all those kind of things. So that's what you get after that. So you get the bad fats.
Right.
So as opposed to grass-fed beef and like mutton and all those.
So the good fats are like what kind of fats? Animal fat?
Animal fats, coconut oil, which is MCT, and fish oil, krill oil. You can get high in omega-3s. You can have your almond oils, your avocado oils, which are less processed, more natural oils, like cold pressed ones. Even palm oil, the crude palm, the cold pressed palm oil is actually very good. Now they are doing some research into wound healing.
What?
Wound healing.
What's that?
Wound.
Wound healing. All right.
Yeah, so they are basically applying this for wound healing. Crude, cold pressed palm oil, which is very high in certain type of acid, which is a good fat. Based on how I've changed my diet, mostly towards
that'd be great.
Keeping high fiber, high fat nuts, monounsaturated, unsaturated fats from nuts and seeds like walnuts, almonds. They're high in fiber as well. If you eat it with the nuts, they're high in fiber and fat.
Okay.
Which your body does not get an insulin spike and cause you to store it. To cause you and it kind of keeps you satiated for a longer time.
Right.
This kind of nuts.
So then, what are the bad fats? Let's talk about that.
Highly processed oils, like industrial oils used for industrial cooking.
Example, names, if possible.
Oh, I wouldn't want to give out names, but
not brands, but I mean like examples of.
So if you are having your afternoon tea, or your tea and lunch, you're gonna have your kueh and all those, this oils which are used commercially to to cook, and trans fats are basically from like all this potato chips,
And most of it, because when you
whatever
read the
they use,
labels, it always says vegetable oil.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's the processed vegetable oil, which is the problem.
So what should people look out for, the labels on food that they should try and avoid?
They should avoid. So basically, I would say whatever, if you're buying it off a shelf, look out for something which says low fat, because whenever it says low fat, it is definitely going to be high in carb in some other way. So fats are not your problem. The high carb and the sugar is going to be a problem. So just watch out for the labels which say low fat. Low fat always means higher carbs. And they strip off the fat for shelf life.
How much fat should a person eat if they actually want to try and lose weight?
I would say, first of all, look at what you eat on a daily basis, and you would know your major, your macros, which is like your proteins, your fats, and your carbs. And when you get a macro reading, you would see which one is higher. You would definitely see which food class that you're having on a higher basis. Which I would say that most of the patients who come to me, when I do a calculation for them, all of them go on a higher carb base and very little on fat and protein. So basically what this does is it gives you an insulin spike. Carbs and protein to a lesser extent, but carbs of course give you a higher insulin spike. And that's what makes you every 4 hours or 6 hours so you feel that hunger, like that hunger pang, you want to eat. That's basically just gastric. Your stomach is empty, but it doesn't mean that you are you're like at a point where you really need food or starving or anything. It's just that the insulin kind of drives. It needs more food for it to convert, to push it into the muscles, kind of thing.
Oh, it needs more food to push it into the muscle.
Yeah, so basically
so sad.
there's more insulin floating in your body, which kind of makes you like hungry.
Okay.
What makes that happen is higher carbs and simple sugars. So when you have more fats, you're not going to hit on the insulin because fats do not hit on insulin at all. Only protein to a lesser extent and carbs to a higher extent need insulin to break down. So when you had like a meal which is high, just say you've had rice and like minimal vegetables and all those, so you feel satiated for a while. Then after 4 hours you're going to feel that hunger again. Oh, I need to eat.
Right.
As compared to snacking on like these nuts and healthy fats and all those, it keeps you satiated for a longer time, and you don't get that hunger pain.
So in a pie chart, you can take a look at
40% fat,
40% fat,
30% carbs, and 30% protein.
Okay, nice and simple. Okay, and what I would use if it were me, I would use like something like FitnessPal or a calorie counter if you actually want to measure out certain things. Yeah.
Yes.
And so now for a Malaysian context, how can people actually look at their food and say, okay, this is the kind of fats that I want to eat, other than nuts? Because I don't know how often that would be very readily available for a lot of people.
So
you go to a mama.
Say you go to mama.
Yeah.
Dilemma. Eggs. People kind of avoid eggs, saying that like too much of egg yolk is going to like heart attack, heart disease. Like it's back again to fats getting the bad name.
Yeah.
They kind of discard the yolk and have the protein, only the white yolk. The white egg white.
Yeah.
They kind of discard the yolk away. Recent studies have showed that if you eat the white without the yolk, you don't properly get the proteins absorbed in your body. So you need both of it. So eggs, you can have eggs for breakfast, half boiled, scrambled, whatever it is. The least cooked the egg is, the more fats and proteins that your body gets. So I'm not saying that you should eat it raw, but you can probably have like half boiled or scrambled, or not like overly cooked eggs. So just have those kind of things. Cheese. I'm sure cheese is
even.
Yeah,
okay.
Cheese, the good fats. So
what kind of cheese?
Brie cheese has good fat.
Brie cheese.
Feta. You can have cheddar even, those
Okay.
kind of things.
So any kind of cheese.
Any kind of cheese is
All
okay.
right.
Not the cheese sauce, which is, like
Right.
processed cheese sauce and all those, not those, but the ones you can get in blocks and you can buy in supermarkets and all those. Cheese is good. You can buy, olives are available these days quite easily. Olives have good fat. Olive oil. What else? If you're going to mama, you can't find all this, so eggs are something that you can find. So what happens when you go to a mama? You're going to have, what you're going to eat?
Well, for me, usually I have my thosai, or I have eggs, or I have tandoori lah.
So basically, back again, like your chicken and your eggs, fats, proteins. Maybe you can minimize on the thosai, like have half a thosai or something like that.
Half thosai, okay.
Yeah. So and then that actually keeps you full for a longer period as well, because it's just protein and fats.
Yeah.
So that's one simple meal that you can have at mama. Even if you're eating outside, and you can, of course, do not neglect the vegetables, your fibers, and again, keeping fibers also is very important. Having your fibers is very important as well.
Okay.
So
Then you go to a Chap Fan area, that's a lot easier lah. You have
Yes.
a lot of you have a lot of variety that you can go for. Okay.
So how you arrange your plate is, don't put the rice in the center, because that makes it like the main thing that you want to have.
Yeah.
So you can have your vegetables around and put like a small portion of rice at the side.
Okay.
So you can do portion control to start off first. Don't like totally throw it off, because your body will kind of to get into like stress eating mode at one point because like I haven't had this, so I want to go on a binge of sugars and like pastries and stuff like that. So you
Right.
kind of minimize that portion of rice that you have first,
Okay.
and then even then, if you could find something like brown rice, take that. If you have that option, take that. Why? The difference between white and brown rice is just the fibers. The fibers help you bring this excess sugar out of your body. So
Okay.
they don't let it absorb.
Okay.
Putting it simple.
Okay.
That's
All
fiber.
right. Okay. All right. Thanks so
All right.
much, Doc. So, okay, the
Welcome.
key thing here is that eating fat is not going to make you fat. It's actually going to help because it's going to go into your lymphatic system.
Lymphatic system, yeah.
Yes. So the main thing, once again, is actually controlling the carbs and sugars and the processed foods.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, I hope everybody got some good info from this chat, and you can find Dr. Shashi here at the KL Sky Clinic. And are you also on Instagram and stuff like
Yes,
that?
I am.
Okay. Tell your handles.
Oh, my personal handle will be x#333, but you can follow me at the clinic page as well, the KL Sky Clinic.
Okay.
Yeah.
And are you going to be giving a talk or a workshop at any point soon?
I had like a small simple talk on Insta Live last week.
Okay.
On juicing
Okay.
and how that.
Oh, that'd be a fun topic to
Yeah.
talk.
So, but like on popular demand, they want me to talk about it again. So I might be doing that, but this time I'll be giving a post before I have the talk actually.
Okay.
And also after that, I'm going to be talking about. They want me to talk about weight loss. So when it comes to weight loss, there's like a few segments like water weight, muscle, fat, and all those. So what kind of weight do you lose? Is my next topic on Instagram.
Okay. I'm going to grab you on that next time then.
Sure, no
Okay.
worries.
Thanks so much again,
Thank you.
and I'll speak to you all next time. Bye.